Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. If you have been drawn to this video, this particular reading, I will be focusing on your past love connection. So let's go ahead and take a look at that energy and see what it is that needs to come through here. Hopefully I'll be able to tap into your situation. And it is general as always, guys. Please take from this reading what makes sense for you personally and release the rest. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it and offer you insight. Okay, air signs, it is your turn. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. What is the message? What do you need to know when it comes to a past love connection? What's the energy? We are starting off with some sort of gossip, rumors, text messages, words. Okay, so if that makes sense for you, maybe whatever happened between you and your past love, people were definitely talking about it and not in a very positive way. Let's see what else. We do have the season of spring coming through, okay? So this might take some time to unfold, but that might also be a blessing if it's just not happening right now. So we do have rebirth, renew, and beginnings. And obviously we are in the summer season right now, so it may not happen until spring of next year. Springtime could also be a specific season that means something significant to you and your past love. Either that's when you met or parted ways, or it could have some other significance here. All right, let me see what else for Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Yeah, look at this, guys. We've got shocking, fast, electrifying, sudden. So you guys could have actually had a tower moment and maybe you didn't even see it coming. It's like one day everything was great and then the next day all of a sudden, boom, it was over. You know, something happened. Bottom of the deck, we do have complicated, layered, complex, and puzzle. So this wasn't a simple cut and dry situation that broke you guys up. It was something that is coming through as pretty complex, okay? Let's go ahead and grab some words to go along with this. You and your past love for air signs. What is it that they need to convey to you right now? Or you could even relate to some of these words and what you want to say to them. All right, here we go. For air signs. Look at this, guys. They're coming through in this reading to tell you that they absolutely 100% still love you. And if you still feel the same way, you know, we'll of course take a look and see what the tarot messages are when it comes to this message. They are wondering if it's too late. For some of you guys, maybe it's been a long time since you've connected, since you guys have even spoken. This is the next card. I want us to start over. I mean, it's a very clear message that they think about you and wishing that they could fix things here, do something about the separation. And lastly, we have this card. My heart will never beat the same without you. You know, they really do see you as the one person that they love, the one person that got away perhaps. You know, maybe acknowledging that, yes, they made some mistakes here and really wanting to start again. So if you're on the same page, if you're feeling the way they are feeling, maybe you really needed this clarification from this message today, right? So let's go ahead and grab some tarot and let's see what else needs to come through here, because I'm feeling that when you guys parted ways, there's somebody here who didn't exactly accept it. You know, they're struggling to accept that you guys are not together at this point in time. So let's clarify this. Angels and spirit guides, please, for air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. What's the story? Please give us some insight here. We've got the Two of Wands, okay? So again, I am feeling this is someone from your past that is really wanting to plan a future with you. Regardless of how things played out before, you're still very much a part of their heart space and really wanting to figure things out in order to create a path forward here, to be able to travel that road of life with you again. So are you open to that? We do have the Knight of Wands. This could represent a divine masculine for the feminines tuning in. Sorry for this glare, guys. So we do see action-oriented, adventurous, fearless, warm, energetic, charming, sexy, flirt. Hot-tempered, impulsive, and passionate, representing the Knight of Wands in the upright. And you might have been very attracted to your masculine. For some of you, perhaps your divine masculine is younger than you, divine feminine. Not necessarily a large age gap, but for some of you guys, maybe it was or is still a large age gap. I feel part of the reason why things might have gone south here, and you know why we're getting the gossip card, might have been a masculine who either, you know, created some drama with a third party involvement, or that could have been a pattern that they were on when you guys met. You know, maybe they weren't even looking for anything too serious. They tend to do things very impulsively as the Knight of Wands. And so maybe divine feminine, you weren't ready for that. You might have found yourself really into this person and they into you, but it was just coming through that they weren't really looking to plant their flag or looking to be exclusive 100%. And that could have created a very painful parting of the ways here. Yeah, look at these cards. We've got the Ten of Swords, okay? That is followed by the Ten of Wands. Both of these cards can be very challenging. All right, so Ten of Swords, backstabbing, some sort of betrayal here. When you guys broke up, it ended badly, okay? It could have been a very painful discussion. You guys could have had some pretty hurtful words that were exchanged there. But I can feel from this person that you're thinking about for this reading, your past love, it was very painful for them to go through this journey. And not to say that it wasn't for you, but it definitely hurt them big time. This was a very stressful situation when you guys decided to go your separate ways. And part of the heaviness of the Ten of Wands is maybe they feel responsible. You know, maybe that's a mutual thing. Maybe you both feel in some way that you were responsible for the separation. You know, it was not a pleasant experience to go through this. We also have the Four of Cups, and that is followed by the Queen of Swords. So divine feminine, you know, you might have decided to end things with your masculine, and it could be the divine masculine that's full of regret, perhaps, if they had other options, if they just didn't come towards you as the type of partner that you needed them to be, you know. But what I do pick up from this scenario is you have a past love here, guys, that's still thinking about you, that's certainly very regretful, remorseful over how things played out. And remember, we are seeing a complicated scenario here. So it wasn't simple. It certainly wasn't the type of situation where you could just walk away from it and that's that, you know. I feel you guys still think about each other, and, you know, divine feminine, even if you might have cut out your masculine, you still think about your masculine. I do feel that if you're not hearing from your person, I feel obviously they want to reach out. I mean, just based off of the cards that we're seeing, you know, I still love you. Is it too late for us? They're wondering that. My heart will never be the same without you. So even if you guys never get back together, they're never going to forget you. And I have a feeling you won't ever forget this person either. Somebody clearly wants to start again. I want us to start over. So that can happen if you guys are actually on the same page and willing to work it out. I do feel for some situations, maybe it's been a really long time since you have even seen each other or even spoke to each other. And one of you is ultimately feeling that it's like near impossible to even work this out, or it's just been too much time since you've even interacted. So they are feeling here that maybe they have already missed the opportunity to even try to approach you to get this thing started again, to have a reconciliation, even though that's what they want. So if that's ultimately something that you would be open to, whoops, I feel that this person, they just don't know it. You know, it's like they want it, but they're also possibly talking themselves out of reaching out, or they're almost sure that you would reject them. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. And you might not even feel that. You might feel like, yes, I would want to talk to this person. Yes, I still have love in my heart, you know, but they have to be able to do the legwork to get this conversation started, you know? So I wouldn't write this one off quite yet. I feel they'll get to a place where they know, regardless of where the chips may fall, even if you end up rejecting them, I do kind of feel that they are still going to go for it. And for some of you guys, the spring season might actually bring some renewals as far as relationships starting up again, conversations that could be very healing for some of you. You know, that rebirth, renewal, and a new beginning for some of you guys. So it may not happen again until springtime of next year, but there could be a delay for a reason, you know, especially if one of you is partnered up with somebody else, or maybe you guys have been with other people at this point. So certain things need to phase out first in order for a reunion perhaps to happen. But it could also be just as simple as them trying to figure out when is the right time to do this, or getting out of that funk, you know, getting out of that way of thinking where they're going to get rejected anyway, so why bother reaching out? I feel eventually they'll get to a point where they're going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. Because they can't live with the regrets. It's too powerful an emotion that they are dealing with here, to where they're just going to have to process everything that they're thinking about and go for it anyway. So that's kind of what I'm getting. All right, guys. So if you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. And of course, I will go ahead and link the decks you see here. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys next time.